Right guys, here's my bath video. There is no footage for it unfortunately because I can't get the camcorder from college to work. So I'm going to just do a little talk through video. I was going to do both Bath and Scotland in one video, then I realised that they'd be really long. So I'm going to split the past week that's just gone into two halves. So this is part one. Enjoy. So, Bath. Got up at 5 AM to get dressed and get everything together to go to the train station. Needed to get into Fareham for the 6:28 train. Considering that I managed to make it on the Saturday that I went last year, I thought no problem, I'm going to make it. No, that went completely wrong. Because buses obviously have changed, and yeah, that went terribly wrong. So I had to get the 7:21 train in the end, which meant I was waiting around at the train station for an hour, freezing in the cold. It was really cold that day, to the point where when the train finally arrived, it started snowing very, very thin flakes. So I was sat there trying to warm up on the train, reading a really bad magazine for 2.5 hours, and then managed to get off the train at Bath and bump into a woman and her granddaughter who were going to the university as well, and hitched a taxi with them. Completely normal to hitch a taxi with strangers. It was really nice though. Even though that none of us had anything in common. I was a creative writing student. She was a media student. She didn't really want to go to Bath. I do. So yeah, managed to make it on time, even though I think I was about 10 minutes late in the end. And obviously the tours worked differently than what I was expecting, because we did it in little waves. A representative of the student union would pick you up and take you around. To basically walk through the campus, the student union office, and then walked to a classroom where we would have the next few talks. So I wouldn't have really have called it a Tory tour. We weren't really told very much information about the campus from the student that we got. It was really bad. But the good side was that I managed to make a few acquaintances whilst I was there. Managed to natter to a couple of people as we were going round. We think I met a film and TV student who'd never done a film course and only did it for enrichment. How the heck he got on to accepted for a film and TV degree, I don't know. Obviously the media student that I hitched a taxi with. I managed to meet up with a girl who is wanting to study at university as well. Doing, I think, educational studies and social sciences, and she talked a lot about her family. In fact, they're all obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and it was so funny. She was lovely. And yeah, we managed to make it in one piece to the classroom, and we had the awkward Q&A session with the student panel where hardly anyone asked any questions, and it was really, really awkward. And then they quickly drew the thing to a close, and they realised nobody was really interested in asking any questions. And then loads of people escaped, apart from the creative writing students who were doing creative writing single honours. I think there's only one person in the room who's actually taking creative writing and another subject that they've been accepted for. So everyone gave them evil looks. How dare you not devote yourself to the entire degree, bitch. It was so funny. She just shrank in and said, "Oh, I'm on my own, leave me be." It was really bad. But we managed to learn quite a lot about the course and what's expected of us. Apparently, we get to, as part of our degree, if that's what we want to do, we get to leave the country and we get to study somewhere else for 6 months. So we get to go, I think loads of people go to Spain. I think very select few get chosen to go to Chicago for 6 months, which sounds really exciting. I would love to go and study in Chicago. It sounds amazing. that they dye the river that runs through it green for St Patrick's Day. Why they do that, I have no idea, but it must be really harm the sea life there. So yeah, they talked about that for ages, and then we got given like an hour or so break to go off and eat. So I had a lovely soup, and I had a cup of tea, and a herbal tea, and then wandered around campus for a bit, taking in the splendour and scenery, because it is a beautiful campus. It's one of those campuses that's really out of the city, and it's all very rural. You can tell it's hardly been touched by civilization, as it were. It's just such a tranquil place, and it's really ideal for me. Then obviously we then filed into the theatre, and we had a talk about student union there, or as it's then called when you go to university, it's the National Union of Students. And with the difference, I think, between college student union and uni student union, it's a student union that the university is more for themselves. You don't have a member of staff, student liaison officer like you do at college. They do everything for themselves. Which means they look after their own budgets, they look after their own events, they look after all the societies, they do everything for the welfare of the students, and that sounds uber exciting. I would love to work with them when I go to uni. Talking about accommodation and finance, all the dreary but important stuff. And yeah, after all that, we were free to go. I mean, people who had combined honours had to go to their other lecture talks. Even though at the university they do recommend that single honours do take another subject anyway, because I think you have to. I'm torn between English literature and I think history. I'm going to look at their history programme, because you have to get credits from another subject. So if you happen to change your mind, then you can do that. So I'm really torn between the two. I mean, I adore history. I got one of the highest grades in my GCSEs with history, modern history. And I think history would really work with my creative writing, because it would give me inspiration for ideas of poetry and screenplays and what have you. Whilst if I did English literature, again, there would be more inspiration from other writers. But I don't know, what would I do? I know I have to worry about it more when the time comes. But I think even religion and ethics intrigues me, because obviously they'd study paganism at that particular uni as part of their degree, so I'm like, ooh, something I know a lot about, ha 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 ha, as I practice. So I'm like, yeah, great. And then I decided to spend some time roaming the city of Bath again, like I did last time. I went to the Jane Austen Centre again. I loved the Jane Austen Centre. It's one of my favourite places in Bath, and it's somewhere I really want to work. And then went there for a bit. Did a bit of shopping around Bath. Looked around. Tried to film some stuff, but didn't do it very well. And yeah, that was about it. And then I think I missed the train that I wanted to get home, so I had to wait another hour. Just as well, I've gotten a taste of a chai latte. So I sat and had a chai latte. Sat at the train station, loads of older women cooing over me in sympathy with a lonely college student travelling on a lonesome. You know, Jack Jones, as my carer likes to say. And then of course I caught the train, 2.5-hour journey home. And then I think I got back into Hampshire around, I think it was 7 o'clock. So it was about 7:30 when I managed to return to Gosport and finally set foot through the door home, which was such a relief, I can tell you. It's just, you know, when you've been travelling and you've been out all day and it just feels so nice to be back. It was like that. And then obviously I had to go back to college on the Wednesday and then, carry on as normal. So and obviously then I was thinking 2 days to Scotland, yay. And then that's when the next video comes in, so stay tuned for part 2 of my week catch up, where I talk about the eventful weekend in Scotland. So blessed be everyone, and thanks for paying attention if you did, or staying if you watched the whole thing all the way through, and I hope you look forward to my misadventures in Scotland, and blessed be.